Sabiha, well, should I say meet Sabiha as your LinkedIn profile suggests. Thank you so much for allocating some time for me today. I really, really appreciate it. I came across your profile on LinkedIn was absolutely mesmerized by your branding, what you offer for the audience out there, and just your general thrive and vibe on the platform. So thank you so much. Love to hear a little bit about you.
Oh, well, do you know what? Firstly, Trisha, I've got to thank you. Now, for those of you that are watching this, what you won't know is that Trisha and I have had a few obstacles, a few roadblocks, and we've had to kind of dig deep and build up some of our resilience, should I say, to make this call happen. So honestly, it's a real pleasure and a real treat to be here. So for those of you that don't know me, who haven't come across the platform, I'm known as Meet Sabiha. I work internationally with international graduates who are looking for their next dream role in a country that they weren't sort of born in. And the idea here is to help you get from struggle to success in the fastest, quickest possible way. And I'm a registered qualified career coach here in the UK. That's where I'm based from at the moment. And I've coached thousands. I've been coaching for over a decade, and I've coached thousands of young professionals just like you who are watching right now, just like you, go from stuck to success in the fastest possible way. That's a little bit about me.
I love it. Absolutely fantastic. So I guess I want to just touch on things. And you mentioned success. You coach people to success. Now, this can be obviously quite a generic or loose term. How would you define and what do you speak about with your clients when you're defining success?
Oh, I do like that question. And it's such a great one because so many of us, and I'm going to put myself in that space right now because I was guilty of this myself. My younger version of me did exactly that. I defined my success externally, what other people were telling me, what I was watching on television, what other people around me, what I was seeing on social media. And I realized the painful way, I might add, that success, what was being sort of thrust upon me, was not what I was looking for. So I had to go inside, I had to go within. And so whenever I'm having conversations with my clients around the topic of success, very much I encourage my clients, and I would encourage you, if you're sitting here right now, as we come to the end of 2021, and perhaps you're feeling stuck in your career right now, and maybe you started 2021 thinking, this is my year, I'm going to make this, but instead, sort of kind of 11 months later, it's been the same old patterns here, and you're feeling stuck right now, and you're hoping and you're really wanting 2022 to be a different for your career and achieve that career goal that you've been pining for. Then sitting down and going internal and thinking about what does career success for me means for you is key to that. And that usually takes place within a one-to-one coaching session that I do with my clients. It tends to be one of the very first conversations that I have with my clients, Trisha. So what does success mean for you, Trisha?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's just really important that you define your goals prior to setting them. And then that means that you've got clear metrics to know if you achieve them or not. So it could be absolutely anything you want, but before you start your journey, if you define your individual goals, then you know that you have met them, then you have succeeded. So yeah, I think it's very person specific. It's your success, as you rightly mentioned, might not be mine, and vice versa. Yeah,
exactly. And don't compare yourself. That's something that I see sort of so often amongst my clients, like, oh, my best friend's doing this, my family is saying I need to do this, right? These external pressures. And yet, it might not be that that's what you want to be aiming for. So sitting down, taking that time to reflect. And I think the end of year is always a good time. I don't know about you, Trisha, but I always feel that end of the year is always sort of a good time to sit back, reflect, and think about some of these questions. So the kind of questions that I ask my clients when I'm doing a one-to-one career coaching session is, I use a variety of tools, including quizzes. I mean, who doesn't love a quiz? That helps you sort of define the different areas of your career and what that success looks like. Because for some of my clients, it could be very much financially motivated. It's very much about the financial freedom. For others, it's about work-life balance. For others, it's about having impact what is that for you? What does it look like for you? And asking those questions. That's one of the great things about what I get to do when I work one-to-one, or whether I'm doing group coaching. I get to sort of dig deep and discover and help my clients discover by asking a series of questions.
Fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, on your LinkedIn profile, you were mentioning, or you specifically work with job seekers and those who are in the job hunting domain, I guess. What have you noticed within in the market today? How does someone stand out? There's obviously large talent pools. How do we identify talent, and then how do you make sure you stand out?
Oh, I'm glad that we're talking about this. This is such a sort of kind of topic area that I sort of hear so many of my clients struggling with. And perhaps you're watching this video and you're feeling yourself and it's resonating with you. And if you're watching this and this is resonating with you, then keep on watching, because we're going to be sort of kind of diving into this, and I'm going to be revealing not only sort of the common mistakes that I see job hunters make time and time again, and why that's important that you should avoid, but also as well, I'm going to share with you sort of some of my top tips, 3 of my top tips as well. And just FYI, okay, I don't know, sort of like, Trish, am I okay to kind of reference? We can hear a little one in the background here at the moment.
Absolutely. I'm thinking I might even pause this video and just go and see her.
You can, 100%.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like, everybody. Working mums out there, I salute you, because you are multitasking. So by all means, Trisha, pause.
Okay, I will pause.
We will continue.
1 minute, yeah. Sabiha, thank you for your patience. I have got my little one with me. You know what it's like, I'm sure, working from home. The dynamics now change.
100%. So many of us, right? And I'm so glad, actually, Trisha, that we're talking about this, because this is life. This is what happens. You know, these are the things that the challenges, you know, of sort of kind of family life and work life have merged now. This whole hybrid working from home. You know, have there been, if you're watching this video right now, maybe you yourself are a working, you know, parent or guardian of a child. Have you had sort of these, you know, incidences where you've been trying to focus on work and then you've had to go and deal with a family situation? Or perhaps maybe there's been other incidences. Maybe you've got your favorite pet that likes to make the sudden appearance, you know, during a Zoom meeting, whatever it is, whatever it looks like. Let's lean into this. Let's embrace that this is part of us, and actually it's part of the human experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. These things we can't control at times. So, and I think it makes the child feel a part of still home. It's not like mummy's always working. So
right, yeah, exactly. And you know, and when she's I mean, obviously your little one's still a little bit too young to understand, but when she gets a little bit older, you're like, oh my God, mummy, look at me, I'm on your work video, right?
Exactly. Anyway, so I wanted to come back because you're making some great points about, you know, how would we stand out from the crowd, especially now that the job seeker talent pools are absolutely saturated, and probably globally, I would like to think.
You were right. So let's pick that up again, because I think this is so valuable. Now, you might be watching this video and you might be wondering, what's this got to do with me? What are these 2 ladies talking about, these job expert career women talking about? Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Firstly, you know, if you're watching this video, or perhaps maybe you even know somebody who resonates with what we're talking about, please do make sure that you share this video and, you know, give forward this to them. Make sure who else is in your life that could benefit from learning and acquiring this knowledge and this skill set that we're going to be teaching in this video today. So, you know, it could be that, you know, do you resonate with any of the following? Okay, perhaps this video's just popped up in your feed and you're still watching it because you've recognized that you're in job jail. What do I mean by job jail? Job jail is where either you're in a toxic work environment, so it's the brand that you're working for feels very toxic to you, or perhaps you're doing you're working for a brand and a company that you absolutely adore, but my God, the work that you are doing is just absolutely tedious. And you're in job jail because you've got a fear of leaving your current job that you don't like, and you don't either have the motivation or the confidence to leave. Or perhaps, you know, you've been looking for your next role for a while now. And as Trisha said, okay, you're kind of looking out there into the yonder thinking, right, how do I do this? But you're not having any luck finding a job. which has left you feeling perhaps frustrated or full of anxiety. Or maybe you've been on the sort of kind of hamster wheel of recruitment for quite some time now, and maybe you're just sick and tired of applying for job after job and just finding that you're getting nowhere because you're getting little to no interviews. Or maybe for some of you, it maybe isn't so overwhelming as that. Maybe it's a quiet panic about your career, and as a result, you've turned into a master procrastinator, right? Who's become, and procrastination has become your best friend. And perhaps you're feeling some or all of the above of what I've been talking about here so far, but essentially you're feeling there's an element of dissatisfaction with how your career is growing. And if you're feeling that way, then keep listening to us, because Trish and I are going to be talking about how this one mistake is costing you not only your sort of kind of dream interviews at your dream company, but also as well, it's keeping you stuck where you are currently are right now, okay? And I want to share with you, I'm going to be sharing with you sort of kind of 3 simple tips, okay, that's going to help you fix it without wasting any of your time sending out resumes or completing application forms where you're getting ghosted or you're getting rejected. Are you resonating with any of this? Are you watching this right now and thinking, oh my gosh, Trista and Sabir, I am constantly being ghosted and rejected by employers and I've just no clue what to do? Well, guess what? Keep watching, because we're going to be talking about exactly this. And in terms of sort of kind of how do you put yourself out there? Well, it's all about getting your career flow back on track and getting your job hunting confidence back. Does that sound good to everybody? If we dive a little bit deep into this, what do you think, Tricia?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a pain point for many people, and I'm sure you would have seen on a global scale, LinkedIn, we're varying and discussing with people's touch points on all of these things, not hearing back from recruiters and what to do. And then your confidence goes down and then you start to question your own abilities.
100%. And then before you know it, you're on this sort of negative mindset spiral, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And so one of the things that I saw this so much that eventually I came up with this biohack that I'm going to be sort of kind of talking about right at the end, that I'll be giving access to. And in fact, just this morning, actually, just in case you're wondering, you're thinking about, well, okay, Sabir, how's that going to help me, Tricia? You ladies are talking about sort of kind of building career confidence. Well, let me tell you, when you sort of work with, people like Tricia and people like myself who have been doing this and who have been transforming careers for our clients, on a global scale, particularly if you're looking for work in Dubai as well, okay, these tips definitely work, okay. I had a client this morning that I was talking to, Tricia, he's from South Africa, but currently working out in the Middle East, okay, and he was we were having a conversation about, how his journey's been for his career coaching. And I said to him, what was the biggest thing that you've learned so far about being part of the I Am Thriving Career Coaching Academy? And he went on to tell me that, one of the things that he's found so beneficial that he's learned about himself is how to remove the fear to spot opportunities using his value system. And it was something that, we started talking about this right at the beginning of this video, Tricia, right, about value and how do you define your success. And what he described to me is that he's learned how to match himself, his skill set, with the right opportunities, and as a result of that, it's reduced that ghosting and that rejection, and it's now created a sense of calm in his job hunting. And he went on to say that his anxiety level used to be a 10 and is now at a 2. Because normally he would be beating himself up about how things weren't going great, but now he's actually feeling excited, about what is going to happen in the next phase of his career growth. Those of you that are watching us right now and listening to this, is that the kind of career success that you are looking for? Is that the kind of career growth and progression? Do you want to have career flow? Is that what you're looking for as well? Let us know.
Absolutely. And I think on top of this, it's really important that clients, or people, I should say, are focused, strategic, not just applying for like 50 jobs a day because they received a new alert on the job board, Glassdoor or whatever, the email notification came through. It's so important. And I always get my clients to be, to pick your top, say 5 or 6 little companies or multinationals that you're focusing on, and then work out what are their values, do they align with yours, and then how can you be displaying your skill sets to be able to showcase that you're the best fit for those companies.
Bingo. Did everybody hear that? I feel as if we need to put this back on loop and press repeat. So pause, go back, re-listen to that. There, right there, Trisha's giving you some really great insights. Now, if you're applying for jobs, and what I'm going to add to that is that if you're applying for jobs and you're not securing interviews, I get it. It can feel frustrating. I have been there. The younger me has been there. And, and it can affect your confidence, like Trisha said, because being rejected or ghosted a lot, does do a number on your self-esteem. We're human beings at the end of the day, and anybody in that scenario is going to feel, lack of confidence and see their self-esteem plummet. So this is the reason why I want to share with you today the number one mistake that I see on CVs and job applications, and it's the reason why job hunters looking for work internationally, particularly in Dubai, don't secure interviews. And it's about how to make yourself stand out from the crowd by showcasing your value. It's about you showing your superpower. Yes, you have superpowers and you have skills that these employers need. Now, why does it matter? Well, it matters for lots of reasons, but here are the top 3 reasons that my clients share with me. And Trisha, if your clients are saying the same thing to you as well, I'd love to hear it. But here are the top 3 reasons why it matters for the job hunters out there right now looking for a job in the new world, post sort of COVID. Number 1, is it costing you your sleep? So many of my clients share with me how, since the fact that they've been starting to job hunt, or since they've been looking for their next job opportunity, they've suffered from poor sleep. Is that you right now? Are you finding that your sleep is suffering? Number 2, sanity. For some of my clients, before they come and work with me, they almost are at the sort of kind of final stage. They're literally sort of kind of feeling their mental well-being is being impacted by being stuck on this hamster wheel, this recruitment, looking for their next job. And finally, number 3, the top 3 reasons that my clients share with me is that it's costing them their dream job offers, which is stopping them from achieving their #career goals. And how does that, if that's you right now, how's that making you feel? Because if you're anything like my clients and the clients that I coach, from stuck to success, it probably sucks big time. Trisha, what about you? What do you hear from your clients? What are you seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much the same thing, but rejection after rejection. What do I do? How do I get interviews? And I guess a lot of times in my region, people are sending money back home to their families. Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
A lot of people are reliant on salaries because they've got families back home. So, for example, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, these countries where they're still in high performing roles, they're still in a mid to senior level position, but have got families reliant on their salary. And then if they're out of work, then their families are also suffering. So I think it's really important. Mental health is absolutely correct. It's so important to look after, because if that goes, the rest, so like everything goes, your performance at work, your motivation, usually your diet suffers as well, because you're just in this cyclic loop of negativity, and then your general health goes down. So I think it all ties in together.
Oh my God, I love that about the sort of kind of diet and the pull down. And you're so right. I don't know about anybody else, but I know when I'm like feeling the pressure and I'm feeling stressed out, I stop eating. Then I have other clients who binge eat and then eat all the wrong things. And then that has a knock-on effect, doesn't it? Because you eat that sort of kind of junk food, right? Whatever it is, you eat that fast food. And then you feel okay for a minute and it gives you that surge of energy, but then you have that sugar crash, don't you? And then all of a sudden, and then you end up sort of kind of on this treadmill, don't you? Cycle, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think people forget about that. They're just so focused on getting a job. But if you're not strategic, focused, and looking after both your mental and physical health, it's going to be taking so much longer.
100%. So how can we reduce that? So that's what we're going to get into now. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to talk about, and we're going to show you how you can showcase your value. And that's the key here. Fisher talked about it right at the beginning of this video, okay, and we're talking about it, we've been talking about it in increments, but here now comes the sort of kind of the juicy bit, okay? So how can you show value so it results in you standing out from the crowd? Because we've identified the why. We know why this is important. Perhaps it's because you are the breadwinner and you are responsible not only for your financial freedom for yourself, but also for your family. Perhaps you're keen to make sure that your mental well-being stays well. Perhaps it's costing your sleep, your eating patterns, all of these things, okay? So the technique that I'm about to share has been taken from my I Am Thriving Academy, and it's called the I've Got Skills method. Now, this I've Got Skills method is here to help you showcase your value during the recruitment process so that it's going to reduce or remove the anxiety, panic, and frustration that you can feel, and instead replace it with feeling more calm, empowered, and confident when it comes to applying for those jobs. Now, it's 3 steps with 3 questions with 3 answers. Okay, now the 3 steps are past, present, and future, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves 3 questions. So if you're following us now, right now, okay, grab a pen and piece of paper or grab a device or whatever you're watching us on, okay? Open up a notepad, a notepad or a Word document or Google document, wherever it is, okay? And start writing these questions down and then start thinking about the questions. Okay, so come on in, join us. I promise you this technique I've used with my clients, and in fact, I'll just quickly share with you one of the clients that I use this technique with, okay? Like you, those who are watching right now, she was a job hunter, recent graduate, looking for her next role, and she was feeling a lot of the frustrations that perhaps you are feeling right now. And so we did this technique, and as a result of her following this method, as well as obviously all the other techniques that I teach in my I Am Thriving Academy, within 30 days, she landed a dream offer at one of the companies that she wanted to work for. So if that's getting you excited, if that's saying to you, oh my God, Sabia, I would love that. That would be amazing if in 2022, that was me. Keep watching, keep listening, and start. This is the action part of the video. So get those pens or get those fingers ready to start typing answers to the question. So what is question 1, okay? Now, this simple hack, okay, is all about, before I give you the question, I just want to let you know, okay, what the value is, okay, why this tool is so amazing, why the I've Got Skills method is transformative, because this simple hack, okay, saves you, the job hunter, time when it comes to completing a CV or an application form to secure that interview. Because let's be honest, if you're filling out a CV or you're sending out an application form, we're all doing that because we want a job interview. Am I right? So this is about no more second guessing or having that quiet panic about what you should write or say, because you're going to be able to knock out your CV and job application forms in like 60 minutes, 60 seconds. That would be amazing if I could do it in 60 seconds, but within 60 minutes or less. And the result that you'll achieve, okay, that you can expect is more job interviews, which equals to more job offers, right? Does that sound good to everybody? Okay, then. Let's go. So step 1 is the past, which is all about what have you done. So question 1, here it is. I want you to write the question down and then answer the question for me. So question 1 is, in the past 2 to 5 years, okay, I want you to give me one example of how you've helped your previous companies grow. Did you get that? So that was question 1. Pause the video if you feel that you want to give yourself some time to write down that answer. Then step 2 is all about the present. What are you doing right now? So here's question 2. So question 2 is, what are you currently doing? And this could be in a paid capacity or volunteering or otherwise, okay, that will help the company you want to secure a job at thrive. Again, you need to pause the video to answer that question. And then finally, step 3, which is all about the future. This is about what you will do. And so question 3 is, what will you create that will allow the company to increase or improve its products or services? There you have it.
I love it.
So there's question 1, question 2, and question 3. So that's step 1, step 2, and step 3. Now, maybe some of you are watching this and you tried to answer question 1 and you just got stuck and you're like, oh, Sophia, this is so hard. This is so difficult. Please don't panic. If this is perfectly normal, okay? Especially if you've never sat down and you've never asked yourself these questions, it is perfectly normal. So Tricia, would it be okay with you if I was to give an example, like example answers to those 3 questions? So it gives people ideas and gives people also a bit of a script and a bit of a format that they can follow. Would that be good? Do you think your viewers would like that?
Absolutely, go for it.
All right, okay. So for question 1, okay, you could put an answer, and I'm actually using an example of a client that I worked with today, who inspired me to write these answers, to sort of kind of come up with these answers. Okay, so for question 1, it could go something like this. And remember, you can chop and change, so you can use the flow of the sentence and then sort of kind of take out the bits that aren't relevant to you and add your own sort of kind of career. So just a couple of tips there. Okay, so question 1, it could be that in my past role, I've helped ABC company streamline their customer IT system that resulted in increasing its customer satisfaction. This meant customers continue to renew their account software they purchase, which helped the company maintain its sales targets and profits. Right?
This is like the STAR method. So, you provide the situation, yeah, I'm sure you would have all have heard of this. It's typical responses to interview questions, but putting it into your application. So the task at hand, the action, and then of course the result and outcomes all tying in sentences.
Exactly. And so is this giving you ideas? And as Tricia said, it's got elements of the STAR method that you could use so that you can bring that in. So then continuing with that theme and that flow, so let's go and move on to question 2. So question 2, continue with the example that I've given. So this is an IT professional, okay, who's applying for jobs with a new company. Okay, for question 2, it could go back something like this. So I'm working as part of an IT team to create a new app that will allow XYZ company to launch a new service that will make it easier for its client to submit their annual tax returns. And I've learned how to create an app from scratch, as well as the mistakes to avoid, which will allow me to help your brand create apps that will allow your brand to increase new client acquisitions by offering your customers a user-friendly app. So again, can you see we're using a similar sort of type of methodology, but we're giving some great examples, and we're always tying it back to what are you currently doing, paid or otherwise, that will help the company that you want to secure a job at thrive. So the company can correlate between what you're doing right now and what you're willing to do and what you will do for their brand if they hire you. Does that make sense? Is that kind of what is there anything else, Tricia, that you would add to that? Question 2 example.
It's so funny because we have not met before this, and yet we are, I guess, aligned on our messaging, our strategies, and what actually works and brings success to our clients. So I'm so glad that we're preaching the same message, considering we haven't even discussed this prior. So fantastic! I love it. Please enlighten us with your number 3.
Okay, I'm so happy. Do you know what? It's funny, isn't it, Tricia? Sometimes you just kind of connect with people. So, and I think this is definitely where our energies have aligned with this. So coming to question 3, right? What will you create that will allow the company to increase or improve its products or services? So that was the question. Okay, so again, here's an example. Please use this, take the words, take the sort of kind of sentence structure. I'm giving you a script example that you can take, you can then adapt and adopt to make it relevant to your situation. So again, I'm going to continue with the IT professional, and it could go something like this. So it feels today's customers are looking for ways to buy more services online and are looking for an interactive experience. I would love to be part of a team that develops AI and MI products to help engage and solve your customer pain points. This will increase customer satisfaction and lead to increase in revenue. So that's an example that you can take away and use and adopt as well. And see, here's the thing, by following these 3 steps, by answering these 3 questions, it's going to result in 3 answers about your past, your present, and your future experiences and skills. That's going to allow you to stand out from the crowd. This will result, it's going to help you remove sort of kind of that anxiety, and, it'll give you a way to absolutely showcase how you can stand out from the crowd by showcasing your value, aka showing your superpowers and skills that this employer is in desperate need of.
Fantastic. I think I always tell my clients, and even on my LinkedIn and my one-to-one calls, or even, coaching sessions in groups, that we will discuss quantifiable metrics. So it's no point just discussing what responsibilities you've got, but what value add have you made to your organization that then would be able to be implemented to the next one, where they can link the dots. Or even if they have got, for example, a company strategy or their vision for 2030, 2050 visions, and they say, for example, digitalization or AI, as you mentioned, linking that you've already got that past experience with quantifiable metrics, already, and then that would be able to then drive or deliver their KPIs for the future.
100%. And you're so right, Trisha, and I love that you brought that in, and you sort of kind of even giving the viewers right now even more ideas, that quantifiable. So if you're part of a team where you can quantify in terms of revenue, or whether that's the number of new customers that join because of that, as a direct result, okay, quantify that, show that, talk about that. 100%. I think being able to quantify that is so phenomenal and kind of makes you stand out from the crowd. Here's the thing, everybody, all of you that are watching right now, it's over to you. If you haven't already started the 3-step process, begin now. What are you waiting? What are you waiting for? You've got here a powerful tool that's been used by so many of my clients, okay, who've been able to transform their careers and go from being stuck in their careers to, to success. So head on over there, write those questions out and get going. You've got this. I know you might be watching this right now and you might be thinking, oh, crikey. Even though Sabir and Trisha, you've been talking about this and you've given us a tool and you've given us a technique. If you're still feeling stuck, this is where I'm going to say to you, this is the benefit and the value of joining a program like the I Am Thriving Academy, or joining one of even Trisha's programs, because in those programs, okay, you get that one-to-one support. You don't have to go it alone. That's the great thing about having the opportunity to working with professionals like us. And you have got this. Go on, Trisha.
Super. No, you have been absolutely fantastic, given some amazing, valuable insights, and especially, from a career coach, people can definitely take these on board and know that they have worked in the past. So I would love, just in closing, what would be your top tips? And of course, how can people reach to you, or, and what services are you providing to be able to help people?
Okay. Thank you for that, Trisha. So as I mentioned, the tool that I've shared with you today is part of the I Am Thriving Academy. And this is just one tool of many that I use to take my clients from where they are right now, which is often feeling stuck and frustrated and feeling as if, things are not progressing and moving in the way that they want them to sort of kind of career transformation, career success, so finally that they can achieve their financial freedom, their career freedom, and achieve their career goals. And so the way that you can reach me is we've talked about LinkedIn, okay? So definitely that is by far one of my favorite platforms. Come and find me. You just need to put in the search bar, Meet Sabiha, and I will pop up, add me to your network, start following me. I also have a website that you can go to, and you can book a session and join and learn how you can join the academy, okay? And as a thank you for joining Trisha and I today, okay, we are giving away some freebies, okay, and for the first 10 sort of kind of job hunters will get access to my 5-day challenge, okay? So come and take a look at that, because we've been helping. I've been helping my clients go from stuck to unstuck with international job hunting in 30 seconds, which helps you get your career flow back, so you get your job hunting confidence. And I just want to end actually just today, just something that a client of mine said. And in fact, if you come and join me on LinkedIn, you'll actually be able to see this. On my sort of recommendations, where this particular client that I'd worked with said, I worked with Sabiha as a client because I wanted help finding a job after, spending a long search that was making me feel hopeless. She wasn't just my coach, but a friend and a teacher and more. She helped me find my weak points and improve my strengths. He was always optimistic and motivated and went above and beyond to help me achieve my career goals. And within just 30 days of working with her, I was able to land my dream job. So if you feel like your career search is reaching that stale end and you feel desperate, definitely hit up Severe. She will help you build a new path to getting your dream career. So if that's you right now, then please do connect with me on LinkedIn. And Trisha, I know you also have a whole host of sort of kind of goodies and programs that your clients can access as well. So how can people go about, what have you got coming up? How can people connect with you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I am the same idea. LinkedIn is the #1 platform that I'm found on, whether that's Impressive CV or Trisha Chapman. I've also got a dedicated members only area. So, if people wanted to join, it's a nothing. It's $1.50 a month, where you can access all of these free resources, recordings, tips and tricks, and yeah, of course, one-to-one sessions as well. So I guess I am just as you are. I'm really encouraging and empowering education. I think it's so important that people are educated and aware of the tips and tricks and knowledge, and then to be able to take them and not twist and tailor them for their situation. So I'm big on education, and as a result, I guess business comes, and that's how I think the world should work. Education should be free. I'm really empowering that. So I really appreciate your time. Your tips and tricks have been so valuable. I will put the links down to your courses so that people can connect with you. I'll pop your LinkedIn URL as well. And please, let's keep us connected, because you're just doing wonderful for the community.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor being here today with you, and those of you that are watching as well. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, and thanks guys for your patience with my little one on the call.